On today's whiskey review, Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea Rye Double Barrel Rye Whiskey Voyage 26. Let's go. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Tears. My name is Justin and on today's episode we are doing Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea Rye Double Barrel Whiskey. So Voyage number 26, this bottle is brand new in 2022, cost me $90 including shipping to get it to my house here recently. So overall the shape of the bottle pretty standard. But I do like on the back, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little map of the world. If you guys don't know, the Ocean Aged at Sea story here from Jefferson's is that once they create the whiskey, they barrel it, they put it onto shipping containers on ships, they ship it around the world. They ship it around the world. So the idea of doing this with the barrels is that as it's on the ship and the ship's canting back and forth, the whiskey is sloshing around in the barrels, so it's getting a lot more contact, it's moving around, it's being forced in and out of the wood, as well as it moves around different parts of the world, the temperatures are changing, which is expanding and contracting the wood. So in theory, it ages it a bit quicker, it gets flavors out of the barrels a little bit faster, and creates a unique flavor profile. I have had a version of the Ocean Aged at Sea before. It was not a rye, it was the standard bourbon, and I swear, this was years ago now, but I swear I could taste salt water in that one. So I'm pretty excited to do the rye version, Voyage 26, brand new for 2022 here on this review today. We're gonna taste it, we're gonna do it neat with some water added, and on the rocks, we're gonna rank it on a tier system. We're gonna see how it is. Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea Double Barrel Rye Whiskey Voyage 26. Let's go. Voyage number 26, Jefferson's Ocean's Rye, is a rye whiskey aged first in number 3 charred barrels and then double barreled in a split between charred number 3 and toasted barrels. So that's where it gets the double barrel name on there for the rye whiskey. It's initially aged in one barrel, then moved into another with a different char profile on that barrel and moved around. It then tells you a whole bunch in this packet about where the ship was, what the temperatures were doing, you know, different parts of the world that was in, and a lot of the story in this one in particular, I'm not going to read the whole thing, was that there was a whole bunch of different storm systems coming through, which was fluctuating the, you know, pressure in the atmosphere, the temperatures that it was going through in the different parts of the world. So it's supposedly going to create a very unique flavor profile here on this rye. So I'm pretty excited to try it, and we're going to see what it tastes like. So it says the final result is a rye whiskey that is darker, richer, and more caramelized. It is then non-chill filtered, allowing for an even fuller flavor profile, bringing you a rye like no other. Well, is it going to be like no other? Where's it going to rank on the tier system? Is it that good? We're going to find out right now. We're going to pop this bottle. We're going to pour it out. We're going to sniff it. We're going to taste it, and we're going to see if it's any good. Oh. Good thing I dropped that one and not this one. Kind of a clangy pop on that one. Interesting. All right, let's get the pour going here into the Whiskey Tears Glencairn. See what we got. All right. Save every little drop there. Pop that thing back on. Oh, I can already smell it coming out of the glass. Already smell that rye, spicier profile coming out of the glass. Let's give it a little bit of a swirl before we get into it. Color? Maybe slightly darker, a little bit more kind of a mahogany red color in there than a standard bourbon rye whiskey. So I like that, kind of a darker color, and you can kind of see that here. Well, I can at least. I don't know if you can maybe see it at home, but maybe darker against especially a small batch, cheaper bottle like the Elijah Craig small batch. A little bit darker even than the Barrel Bourbon Batch 32, which is my highest rated bottle here on the channel so far. So make sure you check out that video if you have not seen it already. But gotta gear up for this one. I'm excited. Am I gonna smell the ocean? A hurricane, perhaps. The Bermuda Triangle. Poseidon himself. A dead fish. Let's see. Oh, okay. Salted caramel. Yes, salted caramel. A very nice salted caramel candy. Caramel, however you want to say it. Very nice initial there on the nose. I liked it. I wonder if that salty profile that I'm getting is because it was out in the ocean. Okay, this thing's coming in at 96 proof, so not 100 proof even here on the Oceans Aged at Sea. It is non-chill filtered, so we're going to check this one out. Nose is pretty good. I enjoyed the nose. It's like a salted caramel candy with maybe if there were just like a little dab of candied fruit flavoring on top of the chocolate. That's exactly what it smells like. It smells like, yeah, maybe even a little bit of chocolate in there if it was a very thinly coated caramel covered in salted chocolate with a little dab of a dark fruit candied flavoring on top. Okay, smell, nose, pretty good here. So far so good here on the Jefferson's Voyage 26 Double Barrel Rye. I don't get the salted caramel too much. I get the caramel. I get the little bit of a rye spice, but it's a very light rye spice. It doesn't like smack you in the mouth. It's just kind of there lingering in the background. And that's kind of what leaves in your mouth is a salty, you do get on the end, a salty rye spice. It doesn't leave you too much caramel on the end. The caramel is pretty much all up front, but as it's lingering here in my mouth, it doesn't give you pretty much any burn going down your throat, which is, you know, it's 96 proof, but the small batch actually gave me a little bit more burn at 94 proof than this one is doing, so that's interesting, but yeah. Okay, that time I got the caramel, I got the salt, and then I got a little blast of the red fruits there. I got a little blast of the red fruits, and now as it's lingering in my mouth, it's kind of turning into that salty, dare I say, ocean spray. It's kind of like a salty ocean spray on the end here, with just a little bit of that underlying soft rye spice. Very interesting. That sip was the best sip I've had of it so far. That sip was really good. Much better than the first two I had there. Let's try it. Try it again. See which kind of sip we get this time. Yeah. Caramel, saltiness, a little bit of the rye spice, just a hint of the red fruit sweetness in there. It's not a lot. It's just a little hint, and then as it fades off, it gets into just a, like, it's almost like if you were just standing by the ocean, drinking the sea mist, like just as you're walking by the ocean, just letting it go into your mouth. That's kind of what it's lingering here. So interesting, because I was not sure if I was going to get that kind of sea flavor that I got when I drank the other version of this years ago. Plus this is a rye. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to get, but I'm happy to say I am getting just a little bit of that ocean mist, ocean breeze flavoring there on the end of the palate. So let's add a little bit of water to it. It's not seawater, it's not ocean water. Let's see if that does anything. Okay, with the water added in, you definitely get a little bit more sweeter notes. Those red candies stick out a little bit more. Those red fruity candies stick out a little bit more than they did before. And you get a little bit less of the salted caramel when you add the water in there. So let's try it. Yeah, I think it's just proofed down a little bit too far when you add a dash of water in there. So I definitely take this one neat over the water. But one last way, let's try it on the rocks. That brings out a bit more of the rye spice on that one. Brings out a bit more of the rye spice, especially up front. Much more up front. Yeah, it takes away kind of the caramely sweetness that you get up front with it on the rocks there and with the dash of water. So I'm definitely going to say that this one drank neat. I don't think it's my favorite on the rocks or with the dash of water. Definitely drink this one neat. But Oceans Aged at Sea, what do I think overall? $90 bottle, brand new for 2022. It's gone all around the world. Hurricanes, shipwrecks, Bermuda Triangles, maybe even fought with Russia, who knows. What am I going to do with this on the tier list? I think it's a solid B. A solid B on the tier list. It's got a nice flavor profile to it with the salty caramel, just a hint of the chocolate on there. I think the nose is really good. Really nice nose, and then kind of that sea mist finish, aftertaste, whatever you want to call it, in your mouth. But it doesn't last overly long. I was struggling to pick up more underlying flavors. It doesn't coat the tongue overly well. And it's just a pretty good bottle of rye whiskey here. So, you know, it's definitely something that if you like salted caramel, if you want something that has a kind of a cool story to it with going around the world in, you know, ships, and it's been double barreled and different kinds of chars on there. We got toasted tops, I believe it was. You know, it's not too bad. Is it worth $90? I don't know. I think this is more like a $60 bottle if I were to be putting on what I would pay for it again. I don't think 90 is where I would go. I think 60 is okay, 50 would be better, but we're going to put it as a solid B on the tier list here, the first Jefferson's bottle that I have now done on the channel of Whiskey Tiers. So that's where it's going. Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea Rye Double Barrel Whiskey, non-chilled filtered, Voyage 26, World on the back, World in our grasps here on the channel. If you guys just hit like and subscribe, we'll take it over. We're going to taste tons of whiskey. Hopefully one day I hope to be able to bring you guys a bunch of awesome stuff here as we grow. This is now my third YouTube channel I've made overall. So I've got a little bit of experience with it, but the first time dabbling into the whiskey world with it. So I really do hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Hopefully the audio quality has improved significantly over the initial videos that we did now that I've got the brand new DJI system in here. So that's it. Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea. We're going with a B on the tier list. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you later.